I'm 27, and I'm currently living in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. I just made the big move from Halifax, just across the harbor, and I grew up in rural Nova Scotia, very small town. My graduating class was right around 60 people, I believe. Yeah, like when I was 16 and out as a lesbian, I have strong Catholic ties in my extended family. So I don't know what the mindset was, but I just didn't get an invite to Christmas that year. And so I didn't even have an understanding of what a trans person was until I was in my early 20s. I met a young man at a bar. He was friends with my partner at the time. And we were having a fun night, and he was leaving. And I said to him, like, when will I see you again? And he said, well, I'm going for my top surgery this weekend. I said, what top surgery? Like, on top of, like, he could tell I was confused. So he said, I'm having my breasts removed. And I took a step back from him, and I remember I was holding onto his arm when he was telling me this, because it's a bar and I wanted to listen. So I took a step back and I looked at him from like chin to belly button, and I was like, and I leaned back in again, and this guy who's talking to me has, you know, like he has stubble, he has a beard, and he says, I'm having my breasts removed. And I was like, what? And he then explained to me that he was born a woman and he was changing his body to be male. And everything in the bar went silent. Like, it was just like my whole world came to this crash around me, and it was just him and I standing there, and I realized I'm like him. My gender identity transition started in 2009. I had a good support system around me. I was financially stable, and I decided to shorten my birth name and use they as a pronoun. Baby steps. I'm gonna, you know, instead of using a she pronoun, I'm gonna use they, which was, you know, it was a small step, a hard step, because it's not a, you know, a singular pronoun, and it takes a lot of fumbling of the language to work around that at times. But it was representative to how I wanted to express myself at the time. So the name I chose is my name now, is Samson. My mother's full name is S-A-M, the acronym, and I'm her son. So Samson is how I chose my name. I used to, had a black ball cap, and it had white pins on it, pinstripes. And on that ball cap there was a pin on it, and it had two simple words, and it was just ask. If you didn't know my pronoun, ask me. I work personally. I let people use me for the information I have, not saying it's the be-all, end-all, but it's my experience. And that's one thing that I do have that is authentic and is true, and that's mine. And I believe it needs to be shared, because there was a time when I didn't have a Samson of my own. Just being able to say that you have friends with similar experiences. Not everybody gets it. Fuck. I have a sense of calmness now, like a security, like a bit of, like I'm standing on 2 feet instead of balancing on one. It's something that's so important, is to find people like you. And no matter how different or strange you think you are, there are so many people like you. It's important to talk about those things that make you unique, and your experience is unique, because that's what makes us all interesting, and that's what makes us all people. Transition's never complete.
That's a great answer.
Like, even outside of being trans, like people are always transitioning.